You're now watching the top stories for this hour. U.S. Special Envoy for Detainees Adam Boehler has confirmed that the United States is now engaging in direct talks with Hamas. Speaking to Israeli media, Boehler revealed that President Donald Trump authorized the move after mediated negotiations between Israel and Hamas reached a deadlock. Boehler also addressed criticism from Israel's Minister of Strategic Affairs, Ron Dermer, dismissing concerns over the U.S. decision to engage directly with Hamas. Israeli negotiations partners work to revive Gaza ceasefire talks. Earlier, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirmed that a delegation would be sent to Doha in an effort to advance negotiations. This comes after a Hamas delegation met with Egyptian officials in Cairo to discuss the second phase of the ceasefire agreement. The first phase of the deal ended on March the 1st, following 6 weeks of exchanges, which included the release of 25 Israeli detainees held in Gaza in exchange for 1,800 Palestinians in Israeli prisons. Israel has stated that it is cutting off its electricity supply to Gaza, disrupting a desalination plant that provides drinking water to parts of the territory. Hamas has condemned the move, calling it part of Israel's starvation policy. Last week, Israel also suspended the supply of goods to the territory, home to more than 2 million Palestinians, a measure reminiscent of the siege imposed in the early days of the war. Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich has announced that Israel is establishing a large immigration administration following U.S. President Donald Trump's proposal to forcibly relocate of Palestinians from the Strip. Smotrich defended the plan, calling it the only realistic path, adding that investing in immigration incentives would cost Israel for less. Trump sparked regional shockwaves last month, suggesting that roughly 2 million Palestinians be resettled in other countries. He proposed that the United States take control of Gaza and redevelop it into a Middle Eastern Riviera. Gaza residents are hoping that the emergency Arab summit in Egypt will counter U.S. and Israeli plans to their displacement. Held in Egypt's new administrative capital, the summit brought together Arab leaders to discuss Gaza's reconstruction. The leaders adopted Egypt's plan to rebuild Gaza without displacing. Its Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi outlined a phased approach, beginning with humanitarian aid, followed by a full-scale reconstruction effort. The European Union has welcomed the Arab Recovery and Reconstruction Plan adopted by the Emergency Arab Summit in Cairo. The Union called the plan a serious basis for Gaza's future and the need for a solid political and security framework for reconstruction and peace. The EU pledged continued support for the Palestinian Authority to help it prepare to govern Gaza. She also criticized yet to or an arms embargo on Israel, saying that they are aiding and assisting Israel in the commission of one of the most preventable genocides in history. Human Rights Watch reports Israel has already blocked most water access for Palestinians in Gaza, including shutting down pipelines and destroying solar panels. Far-right Israeli politician Itamar Ben-Gvir and his Otzma Yehudit party have introduced a bill in the Knesset seeking to annul key agreements with the Palestine Liberation Organization (PLO), including the Oslo Accords, the Hebron Protocol, and the Wye River Memorandum. Ben-Gvir stated that the bill aims to restore the situation to its pre-agreement status, allowing Israel to reclaim lands transferred under these deals. The proposal also seeks to repeal laws enforcing these agreements and grants the Prime Minister authority to nullify their outcomes. The Oslo Accords, signed in 1993, established a framework for Palestinian self-rule and mutual recognition between Israel and the PLO. The Hebron Protocol of 1997 facilitated the redeployment of Israeli forces in Hebron, dividing the city into areas of Palestinian and Israeli control, while the 1998 Wye River Memorandum outlined further Israeli withdrawals from the West Bank and enhanced security cooperation. Interim Ahmad al-Shara form a high-level committee for maintaining civil peace. The committee will communicate directly with residents in the coastal region to listen to ensure the Syrian people's security, stability, and national unity during this sensitive time. Diplomats Russia have requested a closed-door meeting at the United Nations Security Council to discuss the escalating violence in Syria. This comes as the Syrian presidency announced to investigate the clashes, focusing on violations against civilians and accountability. The United Nations has urged all parties in Syria to immediately halt hostilities to protect civilians, infrastructure, and humanitarian operations in line with international humanitarian law and human rights regulations. The appeal came in a joint statement from UN Resident Coordinator and Humanitarian Coordinator for Syria, Adam Abdelmoula, and the UN Regional Humanitarian Coordinator for the Syrian crisis. Those are our top stories for this hour. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more updates here on Q News.